Hello everyone, welcome to another video. So in this video, I'll be discussing the last game of the BKCC Invitational tournament. The last game was against Gaurav. So how the tournament standings were was Shibin was at 3 points, Sham was at 2.5. So and both of them were playing against each other. So Shibin needed a draw to win the tournament. And I was playing with Gaurav. I had 1.5 and Gaurav had 1. So I needed a draw to secure the third place. But there was also one situation where if I beat Gaurav and Shibin beats Sham, I would be tied with Sham on 2.5 for the second place. And then the tiebreak would be a blitz match. So I had high hopes from Shivan that he would win, and I anyhow wanted to win this game, and I think that led to some unfavorable results that we'll see in this game. So I was playing from black, and Gaurav started with e4, e5. So I had some kind of preparation for all the players that were playing, but for Gaurav, I had no preparation because it's not possible to prepare against him. If you ask Gaurav a week before about what opening he would play a week later, he would have no answer. So even if Gaurav doesn't know what he is going to play, then nobody can predict what he will play. So yeah, there was no preparation as such, but I think he played the Grupo piano or Italian, and I think I am aware of the concepts which helped me get an edge in the opening. Knight f6, d3, d6, h3, bishop e6, bishop moves back. Queen. So here I did not castle because I wanted to keep my options open. So had he played something like bishop e3, I could have just exchanged castle on the long side and started an attack. If he plays something very positional like knight c3, then I'll just put my bishop on b6 and wait. So I just wanted to see how his structure would be, and accordingly I'll make a decision. And this is also a very common idea in the Italian. He played c3, and I think the idea is to play d4, and one of the common ways black. So there can black can go into some trouble with d4. Let's say black just passes, white plays d4, and captures. If the bishop moves back, there's this fork. So to general and with d4 to generally avoid these ideas or not have and have the flexibility to not capture the pawn. Black generally plays bishop b6 in this position. So that now if white plays d4, I'll just simply exchange the bishop. And the point is, I'll still maintain tension in the center. So I don't need to capture, and whoever captures first would lose the tension. So this is actually a good position for black to have. He played bishop e3, and I could have exchanged the bishop, but I again wanted to play for a win, and I saw maybe I could just push the center by playing d5. And maybe not the best decision, but it worked out well for me. He exchanged the bishop, and I think this is something that is very similar with the game that Lukesh and Vidit had in their second round of candidates, where Black got the open A file and Black was able to generate play out of it. And I think this is something that Gaurav might have missed. Uh, Knight b d2 and a simple exchange. Bishop e6 was again not the best idea. I'm not sure how it helps him. Like it activates my queen, so that's good for me. Knight g4. I had calculated this move queen f5, but I had also seen that I have some pressure on a2, and because I was playing for a win, I thought maybe I'll play queen d5 and maintain the pressure. If pawn captures, I'll just play the queen somewhere like d3. Like this was what I was thinking, like queen d5, pawn captures, then I'll play queen d3, and eventually I can play rook d8 and try to do something with the position. For queen b3, I was thinking I'll just do simply do castling. And somehow again I felt like after h3 I'll have a very decent position. But that didn't happen. Queen f5 was something I considered for a long time, and I felt that I have a better position, but I couldn't find a concrete way to put pressure on him or force him to make some mistakes to so that I can win. So I played queen d5, knight captures d5 again. If you're already moved your knight ahead, you don't want to capture with the backward knight. You would want to capture with the pawn so that you can move, like make use of better use of the knight. And after the exchange, again he should have captured. I would most likely not have exchanged the queens, but rather move the queen to b4. He captured, and here I could have done castling simply and played for a win. So what I had calculated, so but I thought maybe I can capture this pawn, and I had calculated several variations where I thought if he captures, then I capture, which is simple. If he plays c4 to block, stop my queen supporting my rook, then I can just capture this rook, and if he captures, I capture the queen. They cap he captures my knight, rook, and I save my knight. And I'll I don't have extra pieces, but I'll have an extra pawn, and I think my position is very decent, and his pawn structure is also not that good. The other thing I had calculated was moving the queen to g4, and what I had thought was I can play rook a1, and king f8. I had somehow missed that. Like I had thought the knight can go back to d8, but then I saw that this move is possible. Where after f6, knight f6 is like clearly winning for him. And my rook, my king, my knight, all of those three pieces are under attack. I think I completely missed queen g5. So after playing rook a2, he played queen g4, and I just wanted to validate my calculation, and I realized that this rook a8 check is stronger than what I had anticipated. So, but anyways, to save my rook, because c4 now is actually a threat. I cannot, let's say, if I play something like it's just a pass move. He can simply play c4, and I cannot play queen a5 because he can still capture, and I would lose everything. Knight f6 check is also coming. Something to note is in this position, I cannot do castling uh, because knight f6 check is again a fork on the king and the queen. The pawn cannot capture the knight because it is pinned by his queen. And similarly, g6 is not an option because again knight f6 is a fork on the king and the queen. I had also considered rook g8 where I thought maybe knight f6, then I'll just give up the exchange and play forward with it. But then I realized that he also doesn't need to play knight f6 immediately. Like he can just capture and then play queen c8, and I'll just lose my rook. I had not thought about knight d8, but again, it just seems like it will be an easy win for him. There are checkmating threats all around. So yeah, I didn't calculate so deep, but I could just see that this is losing. So I thought if I'm losing, at least let me take a proper risk and play a move that might not lose. So I just captured the pawn and thought, like if he captures my pawn on g7, I can still give up the exchange, or I can play rook f8. I played king here to d7. He gave a check with the knight. King moved. He captured the rook. I gave a check, king to h2, and I played queen c1. So generally, I would have resigned in these positions, but I had a small trick in my hand. Let's say he didn't give me a check, but like captured the rook. Then I thought I can just try something like queen g f4, or maybe after queen f2, uh, king moves. He checkmated me, but had he not checkmated me, but rather played something like this, then I had a draw where I can give a check. If he blocks with the pawn, then I'll capture this and it will be a threefold repetition. And if it does not block with the pawn uh, and moves the king, I can just again keep on repeating the moves. But again, kudos to him, like he found the best move of the position and he checkmated me. So I lost my game. And again, like I mentioned in the position, I would have never gone for rook takes a2 in a normal tournament game if it was not must win. And this makes me wonder something that Hikaru had said in his candidates match, that do not play for a win, just play your normal game and the results will automatically take care of it. And I think that is the lesson should strongly take from this game. I was just too obsessed with winning and I just lost a game that I could have won if I would have continued playing with the normal style. But anyways, things happen and yeah, congratulations to Soumya, Shivin and Gaurav for being first, second and third respectively in the first invitational tournament. Hopefully we'll have see more events like this in the future. And until then, have a good one. See you.